What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute. People, as you guys know, this is your boy Bobby from Mentor Me. The goal of life is to always tell you guys my experiences and talk about life in general. The goal of life is to teach you guys about wealth because a lot of us are not exposed to wealth. A lot of us are still trying to find ourselves. As you guys know, my goal is to always teach you guys about investing, my experiences. We're talking about life. We're having fun. Today, shouts out to actually, before I even start, um, shouts out to Tony the Closer on Instagram. I was just on his live. And for a lot of you that don't know, he was an ex-football player. And he also is an advocate, a brother who is very organic with exposing people who are on social media saying they do something, taking the culture money and not being able to deliver. And Tony the Closer, he don't back down. And right now, as you guys know, DJ Envy is in a position of having several lawsuits. Him and his partner from some individual from New Jersey, who by theory was an investor, a guru investor of New Jersey, blah, blah, blah. And now there's some big lawsuits that DJ Envy and this investor have to, of course, deal with. And Tony the Closer was, of course, explaining the lawsuits. And he has the court documents and everything showing, which, again, is public database. It's not something you guys can't find. But this is why I say to you guys got to start learning the reality from the fakes. And I get it. A lot of you, hey, what's up? Rihanna 17 was popping. The bill was popping. Many others on social media was popping. You guys got to start learning the fakes, man, because social media gets you like that. You start to see celebrities driving fancy cars, celebrities using their status, then start telling you guys they master certain things such as real estate, stocks, and all type of bullshit that they don't do, just to make millions off you guys to go buy material things, more material things. So I was on Tony the Closer live just now. It's really good. Me and him would chop up. I'm a big fan of his platform actually, because not too many people are doing what he's doing. Tony is really exposing the fakes when it comes to these individuals who like to take the culture money, act like they gurus in the vending machine business, especially now the trucking business. DJ Envy is on his front page and he's not letting go. Between him and my other guy that I like to, of course, turn to, Pocket Watcher, is another brother who is well educated, who's a certified financial planner, who has a lot of knowledge and intelligence to also not just tell you why a lot of people are fraudulent in the world of influencers, but also showing you documentation of lawsuits and just pointing out how they're fake. And right now, DJ Envy is the hottest topic. As you guys know, the brother is well known for the show. What is that? The Breakfast Club. And right now he's getting sued for millions of dollars from many different people. And people are still coming front forward to be able to clarify. Appreciate you, Danny. Las Vegas in the building. Danny, my brother, was popping, baby. Me and Danny have been friends for a long time, man. He's a great dude, well educated. I'm going to take time to first, I know a lot of you have been DMing me about, the stock market. I'm going to first talk about that before I talk about my main topic that I'm really going to talk about, which is, I get it. A lot of people have, they're the jack of all trades. They got 7 different ways they make money, but they're broke. And we're going to talk about why is that and how do you fix that? Because there's a lot of people I know that I meet that tend to have that problem. Let's first tap into the stock market. For the last couple of weeks, as you guys know, the tech sector was up. If you bought technology stocks, you should have been making money. But now, of course, information comes out today, CPI and many other information. So if you guys don't know what CPI is, Consumer Price Index, and many other informative information about the macro economy comes out, which, again, the economy now is doing the downturn. Also, the economy as a whole just been downgraded, meaning there's a company called Fitch, make it simple. Their company is so powerful. If they downgrade the economy based on a rating, because their rating is very valuable because it tells you as a company and a listener, as an audience member, how is our economy doing? We got to realize we are in a lot of debt as the U.S. The world continuously hides it and make it seem like everything's okay. But the truth is, no matter how many of these low-paying jobs that they put out, a lot of people are financially struggling. Home prices are at all-time highs again. Not all-time highs, but they're at highs. Interest rates are very high, meaning money is very expensive. If you go buy a loan, finance a car, everything is just ridiculous right now when it comes to being alive. So now we're starting to feel that our paychecks, our occupations is not paying us enough. So right now, I think this topic was a great topic that I'm going to talk about because I meet so many people who have 7 different streams of low paying incomes. And you got to understand, you're a jack of all trade, but you're a master of none. And this is a big problem amongst all cultures, no matter if you're white, black, Hispanic. I don't give a damn where you're from. You're Albanian. It's the truth. We got to understand, why does this happen, right? The first problem is, the reason a lot of people fall into that category is that when you're elevating in life, or when you're trying to figure out, okay, what's your next step in life? You start to listen to everybody. So now your mindset is starting to constantly move. And because, okay, you hear a person talk about vending machine, you jump in. You hear a person talking about selling cars, you jump in. You hear a person doing real estate, your friend doing real estate, or you want to be a realtor. What you got to first learn is, people, everything is not for everyone. And this is a big problem. This is why you start to have individuals trying to do every single thing. We all have that friend, or we all know somebody who got 7 to 10 different income streams and they're still broke. And the number one problem is that they're low paid income streams. You got to understand that. People doing credit repair, unless you're on a scalable level where you're on automation with subscriptions, you will not get rich off of doing credit repair the legal way. Let me clarify that. The legal way. Because we all know the streets is doing trade lines and all type of baloney business and calling it credit repair. People, at the end of the day, somebody else's credit line that you're using that they don't know about is not legal. But again, the streets is getting rich. People are getting rich off of doing trade lines. See, and here's the problem, right? We got to look at this, right? When you meet a person who says, look, I'm doing credit repair the legal way. I work here. I work at Amazon. I work there. I also do this. I also do hair on the side. I also do nails on the side. I also cut grass on the side. I also paint houses. And then you sit down with them and you realize they're broke. How is that possible? How is a person with 7 different streams of income broke? It happens because the streams of income, 1, don't correlate. They don't work with each other. 2, a lot of low-paying streams of income don't make sense. You can't attach 7 different low-paying streams of income together and think all that together is going to make you a high-paid person. The problem is, when you put yourself in these low-paid streams of income, now you're fighting with time. You're battling time. You don't have time to do shit. You don't have time to relax. You don't have time to breathe. There's too many millions of Americans that fall into this category. I love when I sit down with people. I do this, I do that, I do this. Oh, I do that also. I make cakes, I make cupcakes. I do credit repair. I do nails, I do hair. But then you find out when you sit down with them and do a P&L, a profit and loss, or a budget sheet, they're broke. How is it possible? A lot of us, we still have a hard time understanding money. We still have a hard time understanding how to be high paid. Nobody really talks about this in school. How do you get a high paid occupation? People just tell you how to get a job or get an occupation, but nobody focuses on how do you get a high paid occupation. See, one thing I want to say is even if you don't want to listen to me, you need to get on Google and just type it in. Whatever it is that you want to do, high paid occupation in whatever it is that you want to do. Before I do anything, my mind is always saying to myself, how much time will it take This has always been my motto on how I look at things. How much work does it take for me to make $100,000? This is one of the reasons I never liked residential real estate. I did residential real estate for maybe a year and stopped. I was already an investor. So where I was at, a lot of people were trying to get to. Lucky the market prices of the homes came so high, I got my real estate license. I said, let me try learning the world of traditional real estate, offers and contracts, that foolishness. But then I said, man, I'm driving around all day. Okay, you sell a house, 3%, you make 10,000, you make 12,000. But damn, when I look at my rule, that's why you got to have rules to money. I don't like to work hard to make my money. I said, well, to make 100,000 in residential real estate, you have a broker. So in other words, you have a manager that have to get paid. You also got to look at the fact it takes roughly maybe 10 to maybe 13 deals to net people. We're talking net 100,000. So in my mind, how do I work smarter? Because for a lot of you that have these 7, 6, 7, 8 different streams of income, the problem is you're not working smart. You're working hard. And nobody has ever told you that because you're working for crumbs. And the biggest problem is you're chasing crumbs that will never get you to where you need to get to. Now, really pay attention. Look at the difference of selling, which is what I do, commercial real estate. Bobby sells a $3 million building, which is a small building. 6% is usually a commission. 6% of $3 million is $180,000 on one deal. Let's make it even less valuable. Bobby sells a small $1 million building. Commission is 6%. 6% of $1 million is $60,000 if I double end it on one deal. Why would I, and then imagine, really think about this. I still have to make calls to talk to landlords to find out who wants to sell their building. I still have to send an offer when it's time. I still have to go on contract. I still have to go through the whole process of closing. So let me get this right. I'm essentially doing the same thing selling a house compared to selling a building. Why would I sell a house? Now, there is an exception to the rules of houses. If you are doing 7-figure homes, like Sunset Hills, which is on Netflix, which I love the show. These people are selling $8 million, $6 million, $10 million, $20 million houses. Their commission checks are $200,000 to $400,000 to $700,000. That's what you call a high paid skill, a high paid income. A lot of us, we don't have high paid income. That's the problem. This is why we're a jack of all trades. We have 7, 8 different ways that we're making money and we're broke. But the problem is all the ways you're making money is very small, very minute sets of money. The only time that works is when you're scaling your business, meaning you could be, example, a Walmart, right? I'm gonna give you an example, or an Amazon. You have an Amazon account, you're selling products. You're like, well, can a person sell something for $1 and become a millionaire? Yes. All you got to do is sell 1 million of them. But the difference is with that person is if that person could get their product through Amazon's platform on a scaled aspect, meaning they're going to get 1 million people to buy this product at $1, they made $1 million. The problem is with a lot of the things that some of us do, you don't get to those that much people. You're probably scaled to 20 people, 30 people. So you got to ask yourself a question. If your business or what you do to make money is only able to get to 50 or 80 people a year or 200 people a year, you got to ask yourself, how will that make you $100,000? And if it's not, what you do to make money doesn't make sense. Some of you work so hard doing one line of income. And then you go add 6 different lines of income. So really think about this. You haven't even mastered one. You're probably giving out of 100% focus, you're giving each thing maybe 6% focus. Because if you take 100%, divided by 8, what are you really giving it? 8.2% focus? But if you had 2 high-paid incomes, you would be giving each 50% focus to master the art of whatever you're trying to master. We got to get out of this mindset of having these broke-ass streams of income. Some of you don't understand money. You don't make real money. You are still getting excited for $15, $20 an hour. You're still getting excited when you make $40 in 1 hour. Now, I want to respectfully say this. If $40 an hour is excitement to you, it's exciting because you made $40 an hour, I respect it. But for the other people, that's who I want to focus on. The ones who feel, I want more out of life. I want to know what it is to make $200 an hour, $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour, $2,000 an hour. People, let me say this, right? I didn't post today in my day trading account of stocks that I was doing today. Today, I made literally, I think, 6,500 today trading stocks from Starbucks. That's where I'm usually at when I'm trading. I'm always on my phone. I trade right through my phone. I'm always buying and selling stocks. And I have a long-term account also, which is down almost $500,000. But I'm very comfortable because I know, again, I'm holding for the next 7 years. But my short-term account, we're only in, August? I'm probably up maybe $85,000 already. And people, we're talking off of just pressing buttons on a phone, trading stocks. People, let me tell you this, and I'm not telling you how to jump in stocks if that's not something you want to do. I could care less. All I want you to understand is the difference of how I work and how some of you work. Bobby sits at Starbucks with a phone. The same phone you have. I have 2 iPhones. One is a business, one is a personal. I'm on an app called TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, and Robinhood. I trade on maybe 5 different platforms. Sometimes within not even 10 minutes, I'm already up $4,000. Done for the day, I'm already jogging. And once I'm done jogging, ride my bike, then I'm back to making real estate calls, chasing these landlords, which they're very, very difficult to chase. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy doing commercial real estate. While some of you, to make $1,000 based on the streams of income you got going on, you have to probably work maybe 4 days of slavery hours. While I get to make that in 6 minutes, and it's not a bragging point I'm trying to make. People, you got to get into businesses that put you in a position to work smarter, not harder. That also will make you make a certain amount of money in a shorter amount of time. Some of you take too long to make $1,000. Because you got to realize if it's taking you 7 days to make 1,000, that's 7 days you lost in your life. The question is, how do I make that 1,000 in 2 hours? What can I do to make 1,500 in 1 hour? What can I do? I'm going to give you a funny story. This is a true story. I don't know if this individual is on this live. Somebody called me to borrow money. And I'm funny about borrowing. I told you I don't let people borrow money. But this person here is a different situation. I'm going to tell you why. Because they actually work under me. So I actually control their checks. I pay them. So this person wants to borrow money. I'm a funny person. I don't like to let people borrow money, so I do things to make you feel uncomfortable. After I told you no, if you still come back, well, that's on you. You're a grown adult. So this person wants to borrow some money. They want to borrow $2,000. I say, well, for $2,000, I want $4,000. Says, man, that's crazy. I would never pay it. Well, there's a lot of people paying that to me because at the end of the day, sometimes you need the money and you need it right now. You have no other way of getting a certain type of short-term loan. And I don't let anybody get a short-term loan because at the end of the day, I'm not chasing people. And it's hard to sue a person for $2,000. That's very petty in a weird way. But just to show you, this person here decided, and again, they work under me. So at the end of the day, I control their checks. So I know for sure I'm always going to get my money. They decided they want to hold $3,000 from me. So I said, okay, cool. You want to hold 3,000? You're going to give me 3 for 3. So I'm going to get 6,000. I'm going to get $6,000 in total. Do you imagine? Really pay attention to this. In 5 months, I'm going to make $3,000 on top of my 3,000, guaranteed. Last year, I would have thought this person, listen, I know they're probably on this live, Robert. I don't know if they are or not. I thought they would have learned. I let them hold 5,000 for 12,000. I got my money, of course. This year, they come back again smarter, but still didn't learn their lesson. I thought, again, my ridiculous return on investment, ROI terms would have made them very comfortable, very uncomfortable. But I'm saying this because a lot of you don't realize you're working so hard for little money. The reason I talk about stock trading is not because it builds wealth. That's not the only reason. The reason I talk about real estate is not just because it's a great way to make passive income. It's a great way to make money. It's also, these things I talk about, another reason why I talk about these things because the amount of money you make and the amount of time you make it is why I talk about it. People, I flipped a house that I bought for $90,000 and sold it after I think I bought it for a 90, I put maybe 30 in it and sold it for 265. Where else do you make 100 and something thousand on one house in 5 months? Real estate. I showed you guys the other day, and numerous times, people that was in my chat room. I posted a couple years ago when I made $60,000 in the stock market in one day. $60,000 in one day. The reason I'm saying this is because a lot of you gotta open your mindset, people. You cannot be the jack of all trades and still be broke. And if you are broke, the reason you're broke, you think too small. Your streams of income that you think you got ain't gonna get you nowhere in life. You gotta think bigger. It's like a person come to me. I had a person come to me saying they want to sell cupcakes. My question is, how much cupcakes you gonna push out per week, per day? Because we all know flour is very cheap. That's what it boils down to. It ain't just about, don't tell me you're gonna start a cupcake business selling 5 cupcakes a week. At what, $5? How much money you made? $25. So that's what got you excited? $25 got you excited. The question is, how do you get that cupcake business to getting to a point where you're making $10,000 a week? $5,000 a week. $5,000 every 4 days. People, this is how these companies are winning. They're scaled. Some of you love cheap type of income traits. Like, I don't know what it is. You're addicted to. I remember I did a video a couple months ago, right? And I was talking about this whole vending machine. Just the thought of the vending machine. People, and let me say this. I want to make sure it's clear. I'm 37 years old. This vending machine foolishness y'all hearing, I was doing it when I was 18. So I'm not just talking from a standpoint I don't understand. I used to have 12 vending machines. I used to have gumball machines also. This is when you could put them in places because there was traffic. The money I was making, I didn't respect it then. And I was young. I didn't respect it then. I got out of the business. So you think if I didn't respect the vending machine then when I was young, why would I respect it now when inflation is at damn near 8%? People, think about it. Look at your bills a month. Write them down. If your bills are $4,000 a month, what in the world would make you say, let me go sell bags of chips for $1? How many dollars does it take to break even just on your bills? 4,000 bags of chips you're going to sell? People, stop letting social media lie to you guys. The problem with a lot of us, we just simply don't do numbers. We don't like numbers. We don't like to take a sheet of paper out. And when we say numbers, take a sheet of paper out and just do some math. How much money am I going to make doing this? Everything I do from when I was in the tax business, from the towing truck company I used to have, I'm going to give you a fun story. A lot of you didn't know I used to own a paint business. I used to paint. I didn't used to paint cars. I used to own a mechanic shop, dealership, and I used to also in the paint booth. There was all three warehouses right next to each other, right? You know how much paint costs to paint a car? 100 and maybe 200 to $200. You know how much we used to charge a client to paint a car? $2,500. Do you see how sweet that is? And I wasn't even the one doing the paint. All I was doing was getting the clients, putting the sales order together. So if Bobby painted 2 cars for the week, I'm already probably netting after material and everything and paying my painter. I'm probably netting maybe $3,500. That's in 1 week just painting 2 cars. See, my mind always looked at life, and this is something you guys got to start to put in your mind. When you're making money or when you're about to invest, you got to ask yourself a question. Where are you in life? What are your bills per month? So if you know your bills hypothetically is $5,000 a month, there is nothing in this world that should make you jump into a business that's going to be making you $5 profit every time you sell something. Because you now got to do something called the break even. How many $5 is there in $5,000? Just to break even with your bills. It just off of that, it should tell you I'm working too hard. I'm not interested in that business venture. I got a friend of mine. I was talking to him at the tire shop I was at in what's that, Sunrise. I like to go to my Mexicans. The prices be much better, and the service is impeccable. So I'm in the urban area, and I'm at the tire shop. I'm meeting my I just so happened one of the guys I know. I'm meeting my brother there. We're just chopping up, and the brother is starting an assisted living facility. And I say, hey, I have a friend who's actually in the business, and they're doing very well. People, do you know in that industry, you get paid per bed? Per bed, anywhere from, based on the person condition who's going to sleep in that bed, when I say condition, mental condition, anywhere from $2,500 to $7,500 per bed per month. So if the room could fit 2 beds and you have 6 beds, you can imagine that's $7,000 times 6 per month, which is $42,000 minus the expenses, and of course for lunch, breakfast, dinner that you have to pay for every day to take care of these people. But imagine, even if you net $30,000 a month, what are we talking? See, we got to get out of this world of working hard. Some of you, since young, all you know how to do is go to work for somebody, or probably doing businesses where you're working too hard. How do you work smart? And how do you get paid properly for your time? That's why we need to start focusing on high-paid streams of income. You know why a lot of people are wealthier than some of you that's watching me on these lives right now? It's not that they're smarter than you, they're braver than you. And they're working more technical than you. They're strategically looking, I'm going to give you an example. The other day I was talking to somebody about this trucking business, right? And I was like, every minute I'm hearing somebody, oh, I want to buy a truck, want to buy a truck, want to buy a truck. I ain't interested in the truck. I would never buy one, right? Especially now that I used to have a towing truck, I'm really not interested because I understand what it takes. It takes a dedicated driver. The driver is your business. I'm not interested. So I said to the person, I said, you ever thought about selling insurance for truck drivers? If you own a truck, an 18-wheeler, do you understand how expensive insurance is for your truck? Every year, and they got to renew every year with you. So that means every year for the rest of your life, you get paid. Sitting at the comfort of your living room, giving truck drivers insurance for all the trucks they own and all the debt that they're in. Here we go again, working smarter, not harder. See, a lot of us, I got a client, right? You know what she sells for a living? She sells insurance, not for houses. Not for houses. She sells insurance for commercial real estate. You guys got to understand why she didn't focus on houses. She realized an insurance policy for houses could be what? Anywhere from $4,000 to what? $8,000, $10,000 for the year. What could you possibly make out of that? 10, 20%? Okay, what? That's $2,000? No. She sells insurance for commercial apartment buildings, plazas. One policy for a plaza could be easily $40,000. So when she make a 20% override, that's $8,000 just off that one plaza. What happens when you have 20 plazas that you insure, 40 plazas, 80 plazas. Paul, what's popping, baby? I'm going to call you when I'm done, big dog. A lot of you need to understand this life we're talking about today is working smarter, not harder. Too many millions of Americans are chasing little money and they're wondering why they're broke. They're wondering why they're stressing. It's because you simply don't understand money. You're not understanding the world of high paid income. Sharika, what's popping, baby? There's nothing wrong. We're working for people. I get it. But there has to be a point in your life where you said, hold on, could there be more? There is people that is so impressed because they make $35 an hour. Oh my God, lucky you. You make $35 an hour. People, yes, that's a lot of money, but always remember to finish this sentence. Compared to who? Compared to who? Because you guys got to understand, look at your bills. When I see people telling me they're chasing little money, $10, $20, selling, look, it's just like this, right? And I'm not picking shots out to all the people I know that sell food. If you sell food, you do your thing. I like it because think about this. Probably a plate of food probably takes to make a certain plate of food maybe $4, $5. But then you charge a person $30, right? Especially these high-end restaurants. You take a plate of food that probably costs $6 to make and charge $90 or $150. That's a high profit. But those are high-end restaurants. But then we look at it. People, did you guys know? Let's take a step back. Did you guys know Popeye's chicken is roughly anywhere from 20 to 40 cents per piece? Per piece. Did you guys know that to make the biggest coffee of Starbucks, it costs Starbucks only maybe 45 cents to 60 cents to make the biggest cup of their coffee? So when you add all the creamers and everything, I think they said it was like 75 cents by the time you added all that foolishness in it. And how much they're charging you? $9. And then start putting names. Do you want to, I don't even know if Starbucks stuff is called because I'd be at Wawa. Do you want a venti, hey, Paul, do you want a venti frappuccino with a sprinkle of truffle? You know what I'm saying? These people are ripping you guys off. And they've been doing it for a long time. And I got to be fair. I get ripped off too because sometimes I do go to Starbucks. But the point I'm trying to make is look at their profit margin. They're making like a 400% profit margin in minutes, in seconds. Why are you not doing that? And I'm going to show you how sometimes people don't listen and don't think. Somebody came to me while Sharika's online. She does real estate. Said to me, I want to make some money. My family's going through some stuff, but I'm a realtor. In their mind, they said, well, I'm trying to sell houses. I'm really trying to flip these houses. No. You got to know where you're at that moment of life. To me, if you're a person, you're not financially not in the best position, and you're trying to make money fast and you're a realtor, do rentals first because you get to push out more volume. Because you could do 4 rentals a month. Let's say you get $1,500, especially how rent is so expensive. Let's say you push out, that's $5,000. Then as you're doing rentals on the side, you're also selling houses. Let you build that portfolio of selling houses. But then we have people, again, one of my homegirls, I try to do a live with her. She be so busy. Hispanic. She's in Miami. She do only high-end rentals and high-end real estate. So you're talking rentals for the month, $40,000 to rent in Miami. It's crazy. And so you can imagine her commission checks is very different. But I say this to you guys because you guys got to get out of the comfortability world of what you're doing to make money. Some of you don't realize until you get out of that mindset, you are stuck in a box being broke. You're stuck in a box making 50 to 80,000. Some of you just tapped into, some of you that make 100, you work so hard to make 100, it's crazy. You work so hard to make $100,000. It's crazy. Wow. You ever ask yourself a question? How can I make the 100 easier? You can start investing. You can start finding higher paid streams of income. This is why I'm always talking about different things that I talk about, from stocks to real estate to investing, understanding your worth, understanding your value. Like this is so funny, right? I know nail techs that They bust their ass to make maybe 5 to 8,000 a month. And I know nail techs who own nail businesses that they make 10,000 in a week. Who's working smarter? The person who makes 10,000 in a week. But what does the person have in their $10,000 per week venture that the person don't have in their 7,000 per month venture? Aren't they the same business? But one person probably invested into a bigger machine. One person probably invested into a different aspect of that business. See, it's just like when we talk about nails, because I know that's something women can relate to, right? I don't know nails that well. I don't know nails to that degree. But I remember one of my homegirls, she charged to do nails $250 and up. I said, God damn, what kind of nails you doing exactly? But when I look, they look like those things, the type of nails I see on TikTok videos, them girls. A lot of the famous women have them on. I don't know what they're called. But then I'm trying to understand why my next friend, she's doing nails is $70, $60. Why in the world would I be doing $60, $70 nails when I could be doing $250, $400 nails? Because at the end of the day, it's still fingers. It's still the same time. I want where the money is. It's just like tattoos. I don't know the tattoo business. But if I'm going to do tattoos, where money? You got to start working smart. Deep thinking is what's causing the issue. A lot of you get comfortable doing whatever you do. And nobody ever tells you there's a smarter way of doing what you're doing. So you sit there and get comfortable for years, getting the same amount of income, doing the same amount of work. But always remember this, as you get older, you retire. You got to retire one day. There's going to be a point in life where you cannot work as hard as you're working now. Because as you get older in age, your body is changing. You can't work as hard as you did when you was younger. A lot of y'all could admit to that. When you were 20, your hunger, your drive, your stamina is very different when you're 30, when you're 25, when you're 35, when you're 40. Very different. So if you don't start implementing in however you make your money, smarter ways of, and here's the truth, right? If it takes you 7 streams of income to make 100,000, you definitely don't know what you're doing. You definitely don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you right now, if it takes you 7 different ways to make 100,000, 7 different streams of income to make 100,000, you don't know what you're doing. Because anybody can tell you who knows money. It really should take you 2 streams to make 100,000 or more. Nowadays, it should take you 1 stream. And if you're doing things right, at a certain point in your life, a check for 20, 30, 40,000 shouldn't even impress you. Some days when I'm trading stocks, like today, I made like 6,500 in like 3 hours. I didn't even post it today. I left it alone because I don't want people to feel like I'm showing off. I just left it alone. But at 6,500 in like 3 hours. By 12 noon, I was already done. I closed the commercial deal. I did not post it 2 months ago. $3.9 million. The reason I didn't post it too, I felt like one is, I know how some people are. They feel like, oh, that's because here's that line I hate. Oh, it's because it's Bobby. People, I bleed just like you. I'm human just like you. I grew up in the hoods. I grew up in the urban development just like you. I didn't even tell none of my friends. Only 2 of my friends know. $3.9 million deal. Commission check on that $3.9 million was roughly $222,000. I double-ended the deal. So imagine some of you are like, I don't understand what does that mean. Simply this. Bobby made close to $222,000 for 6 months of work. And he didn't even post it. Because I have nothing to prove to none of y'all. I just like sharing my information so y'all can learn. Because I'm at a point in life, I just do what I do Only like people like my boy right here, Paul. He know when I say something, I do it. I get to a point now. I don't even like to. I go into a different world now. Like I like to be to myself. I like to be to myself and focus because I get to focus better. Because I can't be around certain types of people that's lazy. I can't be around certain types of people that's gonna tell me, that's gonna make excuses, that's gonna say they can't do it. I find that irritating. I find it very irritating when you say you can't do something. Like I'm one of those. That's why I prefer. A lot of people are like, oh man, I want to work with. I don't mind working with people, but I prefer to work by myself. I don't mind working with people, but you gotta be hungry. I just don't like excuses. If I put you on game, I'm teaching you something. I don't want to hear excuses. I'm just one of those. I don't like excuses. Excuses don't sit well with me. Now, for some of you, you have never gotten a check that big. Imagine, I just made a $222,000 check off of selling this building I just sold. And I didn't even post it, but just to let y'all know, that's 6 months of just making phone calls, talking to landlords, just showing y'all you could do this too. Now I'm telling you, I don't hate against realtors. Sharika, that's my dog, and many other realtors. That's my, I'm cool with all realtors. But you can sit here and sell houses all night long. It's up to you. Or you could come learn this game here, where you sell one building, you make somebody's salary. Tonight's topic is simply teaching you guys how to work smarter. Some of you are so tied up with negativity being around you, negative friends that telling you can't do something. You're still stuck in that world of fighting to get small money, $10, $20, $8. People, let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, just sit down sometimes and just look at your bills. Look at how many bills you pay a month. Why are you chasing little money? I just can't. I just can't. This is why I like stocks. Today in stocks, I made 6,500 in 3 hours. The other day I posted, I showed you, it's on my IG. What was that? $18,000 in one, what was that? 3-4 hours, whatever I made that. I posted, I even showed y'all the video. It's posted. So it ain't like he can make it up, change it, edit it, none. Just posted. My goal right now is for the, for what we got, we're in August, September, October, November, December, maybe 4 or 5 more months. I want to make at least $50,000, $60,000 in stocks if I can. If not, even if I can make 20, I'm respected. 30,000, I'll respect it. But the reason I like the stock market a lot too is because it's behind a cell phone with just technicals, with no rent. I don't have no overhead. I'm at Starbucks. People, anybody know me, it ain't too hard to sometimes catch me. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually on at one of these Starbucks, and if you see me there, believe me, I'm not there just drinking coffee. I'm either there making calls, calling landlords, or I'm there in conjunction with doing stocks. Or I'm there sometimes, you'll see somebody sitting in front of me, that means they booked me for a session. Misconception, what's poppin', baby? People, I'm just saying, like, I want y'all to learn, man, like, and I do these lives for motivation for some of y'all, because some of y'all so stuck in y'all minds of how y'all make money. And y'all don't realize how far behind in wealth you guys will be until you switch over what you're doing. Nothing wrong. And look, I'm not against a damn public. I don't care what you could be like my waste management workers that come to my house. I love them. We chop it up. I give them drinks, sometimes liquor. Don't let their boss know. We be outside drinking, just having a good time. Because I love everybody. But even then, I give them straight grease and conversations. What's your next step? What, you going to sit at waste management forever, or are you going to take some of your money and invest it somewhere differently? My thing is, it's very tiring when you see people tell you they do this and that and this and that. They have 7 different ways they make money, but they're broke. That tells me all of the ways you make money, they're low paying streams of income. It's simple. Why is it taking you 7 different ways to make money to make a stream of income? And I'm gonna tell you this. If it takes you 7 different ways to make $100,000 a year, I'm keeping it raw and organic with you when I say what I'm about to say. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Especially if you're a grown adult. If you're young, I can respect it all day. Because a young child still has mental development they need and maturity. So they don't realize the true value of money and time yet. When you start realizing your time, value of money, your family, you cannot be slaving for no $10, $20 type shit. Unless it's, I'm going to say this exception again, unless it's on a scaled level. When it's scaled, meaning like I gave the example of Amazon. You have a store on Amazon or you're selling a product and you're able to get to 400,000 people. You're able to get to 1 million people. You can sell something, just like Walmart. Y'all don't realize Walmart stores be having things in bins for 50 cents or $1, $2. Y'all probably like, well, what is this little stupid little rag or stupid little toy they selling for $1? But when you're selling 2 million a day, people, that's $2 million. But they're scalable. You're not. It's like when I meet people saying, I'm making cakes. On what level? On what level of cakes you making? You selling 4 or 5 cakes a week at $1,000 a pop? Or you doing one wedding cake for the month? One wedding cake for the month ain't going to get you rich. People, this is the problem. We don't like to look at numbers. We don't like to look at numbers. I don't know what a wedding cake costs. I really don't. I ain't going to lie to you. But I'm just giving that as an example. This is why I talked about the other day, and I gave this example when I did the live about the tinted windows. I got my car tinted, my truck tinted, and they charged me $300. That's what I said. Whoa, tinting has gone up that high? I remember I used to get my car tinted for $80, $90. Now tinting is $300, $400, $500, $600. So I had to go find out, what does it cost to really buy the material to tint a car? Oh, the whole roll is like $400? And the tools is what, $60 on Amazon? So let me get this right. For $500, $500 with one roll of tint, I could tint 75 cars. If I was broke, why would I go work and slave for UPS where you got to get sued for them to even give y'all a raise? When I could go get a roll of film, learn how to tint through YouTube, or go work at Swap Shop like I really care to work there, work for somebody for 2 months, learn a skill, quit. And then remember, that's just $300 to $600 to tint a car, an SUV. How much? Remember, when you look at it to tint an office, $2,000, $3,000. Let's not even talk about scalable offices that have a whole bunch of glass that they want you to tint 15 people. This is a funny story, right? Like, there's this guy, he cleaned windows. He's one of my clients, right? He cleaned windows. I said, man, I don't get it. You clean windows, but you make $285,000 a year. He's like, yeah. I said, what goddamn windows you cleaning? Like, I don't understand. That's just soap and water. No. I see, I was looking at it wrong. He's not your normal window cleaner. He cleans commercial windows on high rises. So he has to strap up the belt and clean windows. Do you know how much he get paid to clean per window? This is going to blow your mind. And he's like, Bobby, that 285, that's just my side of the 285. My partner, he also got like a $285,000 W-2 also. I said, cleaning goddamn windows? Yes. High rise, there's a license that's needed for you to be on that high rise equipment to be able to clean windows. It's $350 per window. And imagine, he says sometimes it's based on the height level of the building. We sometimes go $800 per window. And sometimes it's 25 windows straight on one floor. Then we got to go do 6 floors of that. I said, wow. He's like, Bobby, guess who's paying that? The government. We get government bids. So imagine, some of y'all might laugh and be like, a person is tinting windows or he cleaning windows. How much money could he make? People, I got clients who make $300,000 a year cleaning windows. Cleaning windows. I could imagine what tinting a window is. You got to sit in one window and really cut it out and on a strap, 30 feet in the air. You could imagine what you getting paid to do that. But why is that more creative to me? Because that person could have went in the simpler route, which is go knock on doors all day, cleaning windows for $15 all night long, with a bucket in his hand, probably with a bucket with a roller, and barely be able to put themselves in a position of making 60, 80,000 a year, but working hard for that 80. Or if you're going to work hard, why not work hard where it's worth the work? It's worth the compensation. You know what I'm saying? And my boy right, Nabil was popping. Nabil, he's one of my students. He got imagine right now he got contracts with Dubai right now for the education system. From the Middle East, shouts out to my Germans, all that good stuff. People, y'all got to understand, some people are thinking so out the box, while some of you are still stuck in the box. When we say the word contracts, y'all don't see. I'm going to say this, and somebody told me this, and I'm going to say it to you guys. That's live, and I'm not going to hold y'all up. I know it's late, right? You make the most money on paper. Some of you are still stuck doing business that requires cash. My biggest checks in life has always been money I made on paper, not money I made cash. I'm going to let that settle in for a lot of y'all that's watching this video. The most money you ever going to make is the money you make on paper, not money you make cash. Because for a lot of y'all, I get it. You're surviving. You're trying to feed your family. You're doing what you know. But nobody tells you, how do I think out the box? How do I take my food business, which is probably, I'm selling food from my trunk. How do I bring it to a scalable business? Where, hold on, I got a food truck now, but how do I take that food truck to a point where it's making me $100,000 a year? How do I make it me $400,000 a year? Do I duplicate the truck? What location do I put it in? People, this is how you got to think when you want to expand your reach and your financial position of life. This is one of the reasons a lot of people say to me, like, nowadays, like, what you been up to? I'm here. But I be in my shed. I be just at Starbucks. I just do my thing now. Make my calls, do my shit, trade in stocks, focused. I shut the fuck up. People ask me, how's your life? It's straight. Knowing today I probably made 30,000. I don't get into certain shit no more. Because I realize the more I'm around people who aren't about shit, the more I'm around people who are stuck in a box, the more I'm around people who who think I should prove myself to them based on garments that I wear. I just came from TJ Maxx maybe 2 hours ago. I just spent like what? $94 on maybe 12 shirts. Y'all know how I do it. $8 shirts. That's all I like to wear. Y'all know how I'm dead ass. I got the receipt in the room. If we wasn't live, I'll go show y'all the receipt. I don't play. Today, imagine, $6,500 a day trading. I decided to treat myself. I spent $95. I blew the bank. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm disciplined. I'm very disciplined with money. Money doesn't move me like that anymore. We're like, oh my God, I make 30,000. I'm just already acting crazy, out of control. No, I'm just chilling. I could make 50,000 a day. You would never know. Like, I don't move like that no more, because at the end of the day, you got to understand money should never do that to you. You got to stay disciplined. I'm not going to hold y'all up. I know it's late night. It's 9:35 p.m. Today's live was about teaching you and having the importance of understanding. If it takes 7 streams of income for you to make 100,000, you obviously don't know money. The question is, how do you fix your situation? How do you improve your mindset? How do you work smarter, not harder? How do you make a certain amount of money in a short amount of time, people? If it's taking you 8 days to make 1,000, you definitely still don't understand how money works. And you're 100% right. Sean 2.0, what's popping, baby? He says, misery love company. And it's true. A lot of us, the biggest issue with a lot of us, we have people around us that don't understand how to step out of that box of complacency. A lot of you, what's killing you, you're too comfortable. You don't like to research. You don't like to try something different. You don't like change. And that's what's causing you to put yourself in that position that you're in while you're still working 7 jobs, working 3 jobs, having 7 different streams of income, and you're still broke. You don't like change. You don't like to learn something new. We're in 2023, people. You got to start elevating your mind. You got to start trying different things. You got to start putting in the work of working smarter, not working harder. And it's true what Sharika just said. Reading is fundamental. You just got to take the step, people. At the end of the day, people, faith is everything. I'm going to tell you, like, faith is everything. And a lot of people can't say too much about me. I'm going to tell you why. I don't hang with people. I'm a coach. I'm a funny, different type of wealth coach. I coach you, I go home. I coach you, I go do my shit. I don't really get into this world of gossiping no more. I don't get into negativity because I realize what happens is people twist your words. People will start to bring that negative energy in your life. I learned the more I'm away from people that's not growing, the more money I just keep making. For me, this whole year has been amazing. I think, shit, if this is what inflation feel like, it need to go higher because I'm perfectly fine. My savings is fine. My investments is fine. I'm making money, but it's not about me. What about you? People, change your mindset. Start elevating. Let your pride go. A lot of you, I'm going to say this before I close out, you got pride. To talk to somebody and listen to their advice, you just won't do it because you swear you know it all. And I get it. I get sometimes why you feel like that. And it's women and men. Sometimes you feel like that because you're the smartest person in your group. You're the wealthiest person in your group of friends. So nobody could tell you different. Even though in reality, comparison to other people, you ain't doing shit. But compared to who you compare yourself to, which is yourself, you think you got it going on. You got the nicest car, your credit score good, you don't own nothing, you working hard as hell, you can't even take 2-3 weeks vacation because you don't have the ability. You work so hard to make your money. Remember, you're getting older. You got to start working smarter. People, at the end of the day, the goal of life for me, my biggest goal, somebody said financially, what's your biggest goal? I want to be able to make $100,000, $200,000 one day in the stock market, one day. And the day that happens, I will post it. That's a big accomplishment to me. I want to be able to make $200,000 or more one day, one shot in the stock market. And I almost made it. Mike, I don't know if he's on this live. I made $100,000. I got greedy. I didn't sell. And I literally lost $100,000 in one day. I made $100,000 in one day. It was close to 100. I got greedy. I could have just sold and made the 100. I said, damn, what about if I can make 130, 150? Lost 100,000 that fast. That was a very rough day. And I think Mike remember that. It's crazy. That quick. 100,000 in one day, less than 2 hours of trading. But people, at the end of the day, that's my goal. My goal right now financially is to keep creating passive income, to keep educating a lot of you, and to have you guys understand, work smart, don't work hard. If you're working too hard to make 100,000, you really don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna say this too for a lot of you, and because I got a question from the young lady. I think she's a nurse. Let me say this to you too. A lot of you that are in the world of nursing, I want to just say this before I close out. Stop thinking you're the highest paid income in this world. I want to clarify that to some of you. I'm going to say this again. Just because you're a nurse and you're probably making 100, 130, sweetheart, like my boy Mike, the advisor, say, you make 130 compared to who? That is not a lot of money. And nurses, y'all know how hard y'all work. Y'all got to go to work every day, whole bunch of overtime. Let's stop the cap. You ain't making that money with no, you put work to make 100,000 as a nurse, especially in Florida. If you're talking California, they pay higher, but the cost of living is higher. That's why I'm going to keep saying, people, if you're not investing into something, I don't care what you invest into. That's your life and none of my business. But invest to make your life more efficient and more effective so you don't have to work so hard to make your money. Mentorme.com. Peace.